live from Woodstock, Virginia. Oh my goodness, got a call from Front Royal. Hold on. Right as I start my show. Hello there. How can I help you? They hung up on me. Good morning. You might notice that I'm pretty much lined up. I'm looking at both cameras at the same time here. I've fixed my tripod system here a little bit, and hopefully you can see me a little bit better. Good morning and welcome to, well, good afternoon. 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 o'clock on the West Coast. And I notified everybody this morning I was going to be here, and I have a total of nobody watching me live again. But that's all right. It's okay. I understand everybody's got things they've got to do. So that's the way it goes. Now, I have a situation that I had here last week with a vacuum cleaner that wasn't working. I thought maybe what I could do was work on the wiring inside of it and fix the wiring, because the power nozzle, the little goober on the bottom that runs the carpet, wasn't working. And that didn't solve the problem. So I had to go and actually spend money, and my customer had to pay for it, of course, for this. This is a wand for a rainbow vacuum cleaner, the newer ones, the ones that look like Darth Vader's helmet. And they're pretty complicated. They got little switches in them. And this one actually has looks like a computer brain from a car inside of it. Makes it work better. Actually, they're brushless motors. They are one of the few companies that have a brushless motor in their vacuum cleaner. Very smart. It's supposed to last like 75 years. The problem is the plastic doesn't last 75 years. So there you go. But the motor seems to hold up pretty good. This thing has two little pins on here, and when I would plug it into the power nozzle and go vacuuming back and forth, it would stop every time I would go backwards, which meant that this piece here was pulling out of the power nozzle each time you do it, and it wouldn't work. So I had to replace it. I don't like having to do that because I like to think I can fix things. Sometimes I can't. So I took my headset off. I am here. I've got a customer right now that has, I thought that they'd bought a reconditioned serger from me, or a new serger from me, and it wasn't working right. Well, come to find out, no, they had bought it someplace else, and I'd worked on it for them and got it working in front of them, and they go home, and lo and behold, it doesn't work. Now, the reason being, most likely, is because something is not being done right to the machine. And sergers, I don't know if you know this, but sergers are pretty complicated devices, and they have a little brain inside them that says, ooh, you're frustrated because you've got to get this done right away. And so they take their time and everything breaks. Ooh, I've got one customer I see on my YouTube channel. That's a new one, I think. That is exciting. My number is right there on the screen. 540-459-1888. That is my cell number, or my phone number here at the store. And I don't even have my phone with me. I'd have to go get that, but that's all right. I don't mind. If you could leave a note to say, I'm watching you, that would be so much fun. Watching me live, that's good. Okay, I got my chair here, and it doesn't want to move over, so I'm not going to move it. Okay, so I was going to talk about sergers for a little bit, because I've got one sitting right here, and Facebook people can see it. I'm going to go here and lower it a little bit, so we can talk about it a little. And I'm going to go get a light. Keep going down. Look at there. There it is. Right in the picture. And you people on Facebook, look at there. Now, I'm going to go get my light. And I'll plug this in right here behind the camera. Hopefully it will not blind you all. And here we go. Lights, camera, and action. Right here. Oh, look. It's pretty bright in my face, but it's not too bright here. All right, so we're going to open this baby up. We're going to look inside. Now, the problem with sergers, my big problem with sergers. Hi. Okay, my big problem with sergers is that I forget, when I get them working and everything's going beautiful, I forget something. I forget to put the antenna up on there. And it's not because you get a better signal message or anything, because it has nothing to, they just call it an antenna because it goes up like the old-fashioned radio antennas that would always break off when you would, you know, turn around and you'd catch the Venetia blind or whatever you're working with, and you'd bend it and break it off. You can still do that with these too, by the way. But this antenna here helps direct thread from the spool here, onto the machine itself. Now, the antenna top here, this piece here, is straight up from the spool of thread. You see that spool of thread? Back here. It goes straight up so that the thread comes off evenly. All right, if it wasn't like this, the thread wouldn't come off evenly. It would pull the spool of thread up sideways up here and be a big mess, and you would cry. But if you didn't have the antenna up at all, the thread would pull on this antenna like this and all of a sudden snap and break. And then that's when I'd start crying, because when that happens, that means you have to rethread the machine again. All right? So when you've got a serger, you have to thread it in the right order, and you need to thread it with the thread going through all the little guides and things. If it doesn't, then you have no tension, and we all need tension in our lives. That's why God gave us children. Well, or the DMV, or whatever. All right, so situation here is you need to thread it in the right order. There's only one set of machines that do not need to be threaded in the right order. And I understand now that Brother has them, and I'm a service owner for Brother, and Baby Lock has them, and I think it was Juki, or I think it's Juki that makes them. They have a air thread system where it doesn't matter what order you thread them in, they will work just fine. But the problem is, if you don't have one of those $1,000 sergers, you need to thread them in the right order. Once they're threaded, you're just doing great. But if they're not threaded in the right order, you're not doing so good. All right, so we've got three. This machine is a three-thread serger. 1, 2, 3. Now, it's important that you thread it with the middle thread first. Or, as I like to tell people, because most of people have nowadays, have a 4-thread serger. You thread number 2. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and 4 usually. The difference between this one and most other sergers is that you have 2 needles. This one only has 1 needle. It's okay. It still works just fine, especially if you're going to do a rolled hem. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But, so, the thing you want to make sure you do is thread this middle thread or the second thread first. And the reason you want to do that is so that it takes care of the upper looper. This looper is kind of shaped like this, and it goes like this on your machine. And you at Facebook are looking at it backwards, but you get the idea. Okay, it goes up like this. That's your first thread. You want to make sure that one is first, because you've got the other looper that kind of goes like this, across. This one goes up, this one goes across. This one goes underneath where the needles are. And you want to do the needles last. You do not want to do the needles first or second. You want to do them last. Because if you don't do them last, the thread's not going to be on the right place on this looper. And it's going to be on the wrong side of the looper. And if you're on the wrong side of the fence, that bull's going to get you. Okay, so you don't want to have... Is that a good expression? Okay, I don't know. And nobody's writing me or calling me or anything. So if I say something wrong, please call me and say, hey, that wasn't right. I'm used to being told it's wrong. Silence is kind of scary to me. All right, so you want to make sure you thread this looper first, the upper one. Okay, that's the one that the needles come down behind, or the needle comes down behind. Okay, or you want to be on this loop. The second looper is this looper that goes back and forth. All right, that one grabs behind the threads of the needle. So you don't want to have the needle threaded first, because it won't go behind the threads. It'll be on the wrong side of the threads. And you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. I've heard of a lot of talk about being on the wrong side of history. You don't want to do that. You want to be on the right side. All right. So the lower looper, this lower looper, the number 2 looper, is the hardest one to get right because it's down inside of here, way down in here. Okay. And I don't know if you can see it here. See, this is the up and down looper here going, going up and down. And then you've got this lower looper that comes across. That one is this one down here. Okay, you want to make sure you have them threaded properly. This one goes across. All right. Now, I want you to see these threads. See how that does? It has a cutter on here that cuts the material as the machine is running. Now, I'm not very good at this. I don't make things except for napkins and scarves and hose tubes of cloth for on vacuum cleaner hoses. Ooh, I've got a Duncan lady on here. Okay, I can't read your note, ma'am. I'm sorry, but I appreciate it. That's the first note I've gotten on this one. Hi, I just figured out how to join. I emailed you about my Singer sewing machine. Okay, we'll check that out when I get done here. Okay, but I'm not going to do that while I'm online because it's just me and I don't have a film crew telling me what to look at. And I haven't had lunch yet, so maybe some tuna for lunch, but who knows. All right, so you see the stitch here? It's cutting the material, it's sewing around the outside edge, and it's making it nice and tight. And now, what's this one say? That's fine. Thank you so much for saying that. And down here on Facebook, I got no viewers on Facebook, so there we go. All right, thank you for finding me, by the way. All right, now, we've got this thing here with the thread. It's sewing the edges. It keeps it from coming unfrayed. That's why I like it for my rags. When I make rags, it keeps the thread from falling all apart. And then for napkins and things like that, scarves. I used to make some scarves with polymer inside, so that when you put it in water, it would swell up with the polymer, and then it would keep you cool by putting it around your neck. I know, it's kind of crazy, but that's why we call them cool Danas, is what we call them. And helped make money for our trip across the country 15 years ago. I think it was. No, longer than that. 17 years ago. Because I was, I don't know. I can't keep up with how old I'm. Oh, by the way, my birthday was last week on the 1st, and my mom's birthday is tomorrow on the 9th. And right now, my mom is not old. I was told growing up, and as I got older, that old was 20 years older than you are. So right now, my mom is only 19 years older than me. So tomorrow, on her birthday, she'll be an old lady again. I say that with respect. Okay. Anyway. All right. So back to this again. So the lower looper, this lower looper, sometimes is a hassle because you've got to get the thread to go along the outside on the outside edge and through the eye of the looper. And it's really hard sometimes because some of them have a little hole in the back of the lower looper to put the thread through, and it becomes a hassle. All right, who we got? This is my wife. Mom made deviled eggs for this afternoon. I'm excited. I know, her birthday's tomorrow though, see, so we're having a family get together. All right, so the lower looper is the hardest one to get, and if you have problems with it, look at the manual or call me. One of the opportunities that we have, and this is called free, this is why I make so much money here, is that you can call me, and if you have a iPhone, you can call me on, and this is my iPhone here. You can call me on my iPhone, and we can do FaceTime, and you can point at your sewing machine or your device, and we can talk about it, and I can hopefully help you with your solutions. Back when COVID, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word still. Anyway, that disease that took over the world for a little while, I had a live camera here at my store set up all the time, so people on one of my computers, so that I could answer questions wherever people were in the world. And then it got a little scary when I turned around and somebody looking at my backside. I didn't like that quite so well. So I don't use it quite as much. But I do use FaceTime, and I could still use my Jitsi. If you call me and ask me, we will try to take care of your problems there. And if not, then you'll have to come see me in person and endure my humor here. So anyway, so that's what's going on here. I've got 2 people now watching me. I have doubled or tripled the number of people watching me on the show. Back to the surgery here. I talked about the upper looper, which does this, goes up and down. And we got the lower looper, which goes back and forth. And then we got the needles that go up and down, directly up and down. Those are the 3 things that do the job. And then you got the blade comes down and cuts material. I have one lady that does, or did, I don't think she's doing it much anymore, but she used to do putting zippers in and, doing alterations and stuff. She had a serger. She never used the blade on it, which I think to me, that's kind of smart, because if you're doing a serger and you mess up, you can't put the material back on the machine. It cuts it off and it's gone. But my mom was able to do lots of things with her serger when she first bought it. She was the first person to buy a serger from me, just like if your child ever sold vacuum cleaners, you were probably the first one to buy one, unfortunately. That's just the way it was. Anyway, but my mom bought a serger, and she made onesies for my kids. Now, my kids are now over 25 years old and under 35, so in that range there. She made onesies for the kids, several in a day, because that material stretches and things that it gives. It doesn't work too well on a sewing machine, but it does do great on a serger. That is the advantage of the serger. All right, so anybody had any questions about sergers, they can call, and I will see what I can do about that. All right, now, I am sitting here. I just got done with a lamp today that a lady brought in, and she was all upset because the bottom fell off. Oh, Deb, you haven't come to see me yet. Hi, Ralph. I am watching you on Facebook. Thank you for watching me on Facebook. Okay, so anyway, she brought a lamp in. It was a Stiffle lamp, okay? Now, the people that have Stiffles, they think they are just super-de-duper, and they are very nice. They're nice and heavy lamps. They're very good, but the insides are the same as any other lamp you might buy anywhere else. Anyway, but the bottom of her lamp was ripped off. So it was just a bare piece of metal with all the wires and things inside, and you could see them. So this lady was not happy. Matter of fact, it wobbled a little bit. It was a little loose. She got really freaked out. I mean, when it started wobbling, I said, well, wait a minute. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. I don't think that humor worked with her. Oh, you're going to bring your surgery in soon. Well, did I help you at all with what I just said, Dick? I hope so. If not, okay, I'll see you anyway. All right, so back to the situation of this lamp. They had no bottom on it at all. It was embarrassing, actually. Sort of like Donald Duck doesn't wear pants. That's not true. Well, he doesn't wear pants, but it wasn't embarrassing. So anyway, all the wires were kind of hanging out on the bottom. So I took an old cereal box, that thin cardboard. Oh, wait! I have a customer calling me. Hold on. I'll be right back. Where's my phone? I hear it. Hello, you're live on Shenandoah Sewing Vac Live. How can I help you?
This is Carolyn again.
Hello, Miss Carolyn. Hey, everybody, this is a friend of mine, Miss Carolyn. She makes quilts. And so she has a problem. Let's see if I can help her on the phone here.
Okay.
All right, tell me your situation here.
I was using my Singer the other day.
Okay.
And that thing locked up on me. It would not sew. I had the needle down in the fabric that I was sewing on. I could not get that thing to move. And finally, I broke a needle to get the fabric out from under it.
Oh, my goodness.
And, I mean, it would not go.
Okay. Now, was this in the middle of a run, or is this when you just started?
It was probably after I had sewed for a while.
Okay. So it sounds like something got wedged or was dry. Okay. Have you tried taking out? Is this the kind that has the Kenmore you have, where you take the 2 little ears and pull them back, and the pieces fall out of the inside of the machine?
say that again?
Okay. If you were on Facebook, or YouTube, I would show you. But there are bobbin, where your bobbin case goes.
Yeah.
Does yours have the little finger on it that you put the bobbin inside that and snap it into place?
Yeah.
Okay. If you take, there's two little ears that hold that bobbin hook in place.
Yeah.
If you take that out, take a little bit of soy machine oil or gun oil. Don't use 3-in-1 oil or vegetable oil. No, no, no. And put it on a tissue and wipe the inside of that ring, the hook itself, and put it back together again, and it'll probably not give you that problem. That's my guess.
Okay. Well, after I broke a needle and got the fabric out from under it,
Yes?
I transferred to my other sewing machine, so I had to take the thread that I was using out of the Singer and put it in the Brother.
Uh-oh.
And I put other thread back in the Singer, and I thought, now I wonder what'll happen. So I sewed a little bit, and it did fine.
Okay. Well, it likes that other machine better. It's probably they have a relationship.
I know. Oh, I can check this bobbin and.
Okay. If you have a problem, I'm not going to be home. I'm not going to be in the store after. I don't know if I'm going to be here after 3 or not. It depends on how it goes. But I will be here tomorrow from 10 to 4. And you can come by and see if you have a problem, okay?
Okay.
But I could probably solve your problem pretty quick. It sounds like something just got in the way.
Okay, because I was a little afraid to start on anything.
Did it hurt your material?
Hmm?
Did it hurt your material? Did the material catch up in the bottom too?
No, it didn't hurt the material.
Okay, because if that would have been the case, I would have suggested you raise the presser foot, rethread the machine, and make sure you give it a little tug to make sure the thread's in the tension. But
I've been doing that.
But what you're talking about there, if it stops instantly, usually that is a problem with something mechanical, not the thread. You didn't find a lot of thread down in the machine, did you?
No.
Okay, then I might have been right. I'm not going to promise that, because if I get too cocky about it, I'm wrong.
Okay, well, I'll do the bobbin thing, and I'll try that.
Well, thank you, Miss Carolyn, and we will talk to you later. By the way, my mom's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, I'll get her a birthday card.
Oh my God! Well, I don't know about that, but I just know that she really we're going to try to make it. Well, I don't know. We'll have dinner tomorrow night. We're having a big party. Well, not big party. We're having special dinner for a Friday night.
Oh, okay.
So, all righty?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go back here and talk to these people that are watching me on YouTube here and Facebook.
Not to use 3-in-1 oil?
No, please don't use 3-in-1 oil. It does 3 different things, and it's not good for any of them.
Oh, okay. Well, what should I buy? Because I just bought a new little can.
You didn't buy it from me, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my goodness, because I don't sell it. I have soy machine oil, or if you have some of Shot's guns sitting around there, don't tell anybody. You can use some of the oil that he used on his guns. That will work really good.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Okay, well, you might have to come see me.
Okay.
I apologize for that part, because I'm not trying to make you come. Well, you could go to Wally World. They might have some. I don't know.
Yeah.
But mine's special, because I sell it. No, mine's special.
Errands run to Woodstock, so I'll drop in there in a little bit and just get some oil.
I use what's called Zoom oil, because it has a long snout on it. I think you could put up your nose. But anyway, you put the oil, it can get into places that you can't get in with the normal oil cans.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye. All right, I'm back to you guys there online. The oil that I sell is called Zoom oil. It's actually, I think it says it's something about it's lily white, but it's just standard sewing machine oil. It's nothing really fancy about it. And what I suggest, and I'm pushing this down, but if you buy this oil from me, don't do that. Don't push this down, because this is a little science lesson. Barometric pressure pushes down on the oil. And if you have this tube pushed all the way down, the oil will be pushed up and out because of the barometric pressure, and then you'll have this puddle of oil sitting around. It's not very nice. I lost about half a bottle of oil one time doing that. So if you ever use this, always leave the bottle tube up, or there's supposed to be a cap on here. And if you're diligent, okay, you take that little cap, it's a little red cap, and you put it on top of this, and that keeps the oil from coming out and running all over the place. But if you don't, like me, leave the tube all the way up and the oil won't come out on its own. But you only put a smidgen of oil on your sewing machine, because when I first went into business, I didn't know any better. And I added lots of oil, big drops, several drops on the sewing machine. And then I'd get these calls from these ladies, or even at the store, they would say, I got oil on my fabric. And they would give me a mean look, and I would have to say, I am so sorry. So a smidgen is all you need. You don't need gallons of oil unless you have a commercial machine. Commercial machines have trays that oil goes in and pumps it all over the machine as you're sewing. But not your home machines. Your home machines, never put oil on plastic parts, only put where metal touches metal. And just a smidgen at that. And you heard me talk about taking a little oil on a tissue or a napkin and wiping the inside of the ring where the bobbin case goes round and around. That is to keep it from getting chattery. Chatter, chatter, chatter. It jumps like that. And if you have the oil in there, it just is smooth. And it goes, does a good job. All right, now, I've talked about sewing machines. What did I get up to do? I answered the phone from Mrs. Wilkins. Now you know her whole name. I didn't mean to say that. All right, so vacuum cleaners. I talked about vacuum cleaners because I talked about this. Now, lamps. And I talked about lamps too. Oh, I want to show you that lamp. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm not done with it yet. But I put the cardboard from the cereal box on there. I cut the cardboard here. This is cardboard. Crispy Puffs or something like that I have. I cut that out and put that underneath of here to give it a solid base. And then I took glue. I use what's known as Plyo Bond because it glues things to metal. And I use that a lot for gluing rubber gaskets onto machines and things. So I put that underneath on there. And then I put the black, I use black felt because it makes this lamp look more majestic. That's stiffled. You don't want to put yellow underneath or, bright blue or whatever. You want it to look majestic. So I put black underneath it. Now I've got to trim this edge. This edge, you can see there's little fluffies on there. But I'll use a pair of pinking type shears to go around there and make it look better. And besides, after that, then you won't see it anymore, hopefully. And you'll say, what a beautiful lamp. It doesn't even scratch the table anymore. So that's what I do with lamps. All right, now, what am I going to... Oh, my thoughts of the day. And the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about this thing about people being angry. It's terrible what people do and they think. And they're just angry. Well, my mom used to be a kindergarten aide at one of the schools here in town. And she always likes to talk about her little student that she used to have by the name of Todd Gilbert. And she said he was the cutest little thing. And some people might still think he's the cutest little thing, but he's not as little as he used to be, I can tell you that. Anyway, there are people that actually hate him. And I don't know. It's kind of sad. I mean, you could disagree with somebody. I might not like the way he eats. I was at some sort of event and he was there at our table. I didn't notice he ate weird or anything. He didn't make a lot of noise when he was eating, which is a good thing. I mean, sometimes we annoy people by the way we eat. Sometimes breathing annoys people too. It's amazing. But you don't have to get so angry that you wish bad things to happen to these people. You just hope they get better. That's what you hope. Or at least I hope you hope that people get better instead of not being around anymore. And if that's the case, just don't be around them. If you can't stand somebody, just get away. Help me. All right, so any more questions? I have been on now a half hour, which is what I've normally done, but I don't usually have phone calls. Mrs. Wilkins was the first phone call I ever got out of 4 months. I've been doing this 4 months. I'm so excited. It's given me a new inspiration. So if you have questions you want me to answer on the air, leave me a note on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. I'll take the YouTube video and splice it, or not splice it, download it and put it back up on my Facebook pages so that you all can see it at the right angle. Because right now this one shows a lot of the lamp, and this one up here, not this one, but this one. This one is wide. Yes, sort of like me. And you can watch that on TV and not get weirded out. Where these ones with the screen going up and down, this is a different world. People are always holding their phones like this all the time, taking pictures. And we call that portrait mode. Portrait, that's portrait. This is called landscape. And Facebook won't let me do live portrait or landscape pictures. They only let me do portrait pictures. And portrait, I guess, means that you're just in for yourself. This one is groups or TV or, the way we used to do things all the time. And you ever get those photo albums and you have pictures that go in like this and pictures that go in like that? They never match up. You don't have the right number. You have to do something to make them look good. And it's just kind of crazy. So if everybody took pictures the right way, that's my opinion, then you wouldn't have this problem. But, that's the way it goes. All right, Deb and Alicia, thank you all for watching me today. And Mrs. Wilkins, who wasn't watching but called me anyway, I appreciate that. All right. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all for once again watching me. I somehow or another, I lost contact with my friend that watched me the other day. I need to call him, and maybe I might have a little time here today to do that while I'm working on something else. While I'm trimming this, I could talk on the phone. I can do two things at once sometimes. Chewing gum and everything. No, I'm not too good at that still, or now. So walking and chewing gum is getting to be more of a struggle too, but maybe if I had my walking sticks, I'd be better off. Thank you all so much. I'll be back next week, hopefully at 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. Those family and friends on the left coast or West Coast, I'll be on at 10 o'clock. And it's actually the same time. All right. Thank you all. I'm going to see if I can hang up here. Oh, this says we've got a slow connection. That's because you're talking to me. That's why it's slow. All right, I'm going to hang up on Facebook here. Bye, Facebook. We'll talk to you later. Good night, Gracie. All right, it's done. Now, you guys up here, I'm going to say good night. Thank you once again for watching me. Let your friends know that I'm going to be on here. Got questions about sewing machines? Don't ask me about sewing. Sewing machines or quilts or lamps or small appliances, KitchenAid mixers. I work on those. And so we'll talk to you all later. Say good night, everybody. Here, I'm going to hit the end button. It's going to ask me, do I really want to do that? Do you want to wish to end the stream? Yes. Push that button. And now it says, I want to keep it. Okay, I hit it. I'm ending it now. It's going around. Say good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. We'll talk about that next.